John Oaks here with HANKSTERS Hot Rods here in Homer City, PA. Back here we've got another car for you to go over with us. This here's a 1965 Chevy 2 Nova. The exterior is a bright orange exterior there. And of course we're going to go ahead with the underside video here first, as we do with all of our cars, and take you through back to front on this car. So again, on this car here, we're looking at the fuel tank first here in the rear of the car. This is a stock fuel tank and it is in good condition. There's no dents or dings in it, just everything on the underside of this car is all painted black. The mounting straps and hardware are in good condition on this car. All of your frame rail sections back here too, those are in real good condition, real nice and straight and square back here. Now you'll see, as far as the rear end goes, the whole assembly back here, starting from side to side, we've got a set of 15-inch wheels, all four corners. These are BG wheels. I did some research on them. They are made by a company called Vox Wheel. That's VOXX. These are they actually call them an old school polished aluminum wheel, machined aluminum, but they do have the gunmetal gray centers on them, and it's a real nice touch for this car. It helps set the car off actually. We have Mickey Thompson ET Street SS tires back here. These are 235/60 R15s, and again, they're a real sticky tire, gets you a lot of traction back here. And as far as this car goes, the powertrain in it, it's got a real good motor in it, lots of power, so you'll be able to get that power to the wheels and it'll stick back here. Now as far as suspension goes, we've got mono-leaf rear suspension, and we also have the addition of some air shocks back here, so you can control the ride height back here, give it a little bit of rake if you want, or lower it down so it sits level, easily adjustable through the air shocks. We've got drum brakes on the back here for stopping power. This is a GM 10-bolt rear. This is the small 10, the 8.2 ring gear in this car. And like I said, the mono-leaf rear suspension with those air shocks. What we can also see, if I move up here a little bit further, we've got dual exhaust, okay? We've got dual Flowmaster mufflers. Now the car does not have tailpipes. They do have the pipes cut off just short, and they dump out right in front of the rear end housing here. So again, it's not going to shoot the sound all the way out the back end, but again, with Flowmaster mufflers, it gives it a nice little deep rumble to the motor. Good sound all together there. So as far as anything else goes, trunk floors, as I'm looking up in here, I can see those are good and solid. There's no patching on the trunk floors at all. It is the correct stamped steel floor pans for the car as far as the trunk goes, and as far as the rest of the floors go. They're all original stamped steel components. All right, here we are now under the center of the car. So now we can see, the floors a lot better here. Floors on this car actually are in really good shape. Again, all stock, stamped steel components, steel floors here, factory floors. The actual rockers too, if you take a look at those, the rockers look to be in real good condition here too. All of your pinch welds and seams the whole way down on both sides look to be in really good condition too. Those are all nice and straight too. You don't see any of them bent out or twisted up or anything like that. Just overall good condition on this car. Again, that dual exhaust coming off your long tube headers up front here. They've got it coming right back nice and tight to the drive shaft and nice and tight to the floor here to get you as much ground clearance as possible. And again, like I mentioned earlier, we've got those Flowmaster mufflers. They give yourself a nice deep throaty rumble to the motor. Again, all the frame sections and everything are in good condition too. Nice and straight and square on both sides here. Now, if we look up here a little close, I'm just going to explain this here to you real quick. We've got long tube headers going into our exhaust tubes all the way back. Now, you'll notice that this side over here, although it looks a little primitive, they've got the header heat wrap on here, and there's a reason for that. Because the starter, there's just not a whole lot of room down here to fit everything. Because these headers are so close to the starter, not only do they have a heat shield on the starter, but they've also wrapped that header too to help protect that starter from any over excessive heat that may build up underneath there coming off of that header. The other side does not have it. Again, don't really need it over there because, again, you've got clearance for things over there. Now, transmission wise, it's an automatic transmission. This is a power glide. We were told that this is a built power glide though, and I would believe it. Whenever you get a chance to hear this motor, you'll understand it needs a stout transmission behind it to make this thing go like it should, and I do believe that it is that. Now, transmission cross member, nice and good condition here, good and square, nice and straight. It's not dented up or dinged in any way whatsoever. The urethane tail shaft mount is in good condition also on this, and as you can see, the pan itself too, excellent condition here too, not banged up at all, nice and just like it was new there. Again, you got the torque converter, you got the flywheel there, power glide transmission. Then as far as front steering on this car, we'll just take a quick look at that since this is kind of back here behind our oil pan here. We've got your drag link here, pitman arm, tie rods. Again, everything's in good shape. All the little rubber dust boots are all intact on all of the ball joints everywhere. And again, that's good. As we know, it's going to help keep the grease in, keep any unneeded dirt and debris out of there. And again, all the front suspension on this car is going to be all stock stuff too. And finally, underneath the front end of our 65 Nova here. So again, we can take a look at the whole front end here going from side to side as we always do. Again, we've got these tires out here. Again, you can see the tread. These things are brand new. Now these are, they look to be just a little bit of an off-brand Sumic GT tire. They're a 185 65 R15 tire. Again, mounted on those 15-inch BG rod wheels there. The gunmetal centers on those, and we'll see that once we get the car down. As far as braking power on the front of the car, we've got power disc brakes. Now this is a manual steering car, but it is power disc brakes. It's got the strut rod front suspension. So you see your strut rods right here going down to your lower control arms. That's just going to keep everything in position where it needs to be. A real easy way to help adjust whenever you're doing your alignments. This will help you adjust your caster, camber, stuff like that. So those are in good condition. Now there are bushings on these. The bushings are in excellent shape on both sides there, bolted to your lower control arms. Again, stock spindles, stock lower control arms, stock upper A arms. Again, your springs and everything are in stock location, just where they should be for this particular car. Ball joints are all in good condition. Again, as I mentioned, rubber dust boots, those are all intact, just as they should be. Everything, like I said, looks good. You've got the cross member here on the front of the car too, and you can see how nice and straight that is. Again, not a very heavy cross member on these cars, but again, that shows that it was taken care of and it wasn't hit off anything, because again, as small as what that is, it wouldn't take much. So again, never been touched. We've got aluminum radiator in this car too. I can see from underneath here. You've got the transmission lines off the bottom of the radiator, so your cooler is actually built into the radiator there. Just going back to the transmission. Again, as I mentioned, that header there, you can see how tight it is to the starter, and that's why they did what they did. They put the heat shield and that heat wrap on the header itself to protect it against that excessive heat. And that's really about it. I mean, the frame rails are in excellent shape on both sides of the car, nice and square and straight. Everything looks to be pretty stout up front here and in really good condition. So with that, we're all done underneath here. We'll go ahead and get this down off the lift. That way we can go around the outside, the inside, and under the hood for you as well. All right, now we got our 65 Nova Chevy 2 down off of the lift here. So now we can go around the exterior of the car here, take the inside, under the hood, and the trunk as well. So first and foremost, you see here, nice bright orange paint on this car, nice and smooth and shiny. The finish on the car is really nice. Again, 65 Nova, the body style is a very popular one, just as well as the 66 and the 67s. And the fit and finish on this whole car, as we go around it, you'll see is really, really nice. Now they kept the outside of it pretty simple, pretty plain. They didn't do, any of the moldings along the rockers or any wheellet moldings. They kept it real clean as far as that goes. So you won't see those on any of the wheel wells. As far as wheels and tires go, I've already been through this on the underside, but we'll rehash here now. We've got 185, 65 R15s on the front, and these are mounted on these 15-inch. These are BG rod wheels. Again, I believe they're kind of like a subdivision of Vox wheels. That's VOXX. And these are the gunmetal painted centers, and I believe they actually call these wheels the old school wheels. So you see those are a very nice look for this particular car. And just, again, just a normal tread pattern up front, and they're brand new tires too on the front of this car. So again, all the tread life left on those tires. As far as the door goes, you see the fitment here, nice tight gaps on the front, and also nice tight gaps back here on the back side of the door. Even along the bottom, you can see very uniform down there as far as your gap goes. Now you do have the moldings up along the top side of the door and where your quarter window goes. Those are bright moldings, nicely polished up, nice and straight and smooth. You don't see any dings or anything in those. And it does have the bright drip rail molding also. And again, that's nicely polished up, very straight too. There's no dents or dings or any waviness to that whatsoever. Very nicely done. We've got the chrome mirror here too, just on the driver's side of the car. Again, this is a particular car that, you had the option of either one or both. This car has one. All of your bright trim work here around like your wing windows, that's in good condition too. There's no pitting or anything on any of this trim. Very nice as far as that goes. Let's go ahead and open this up just like we do with all of our cars. Take a quick peek here. We'll go more in depth a little later. But as far as your door goes, we've got the little rubber bump stops both on the top and down at the bottom. Weather stripping here the whole way around the door. Very good condition. There's no cracks or chips or tears out of this. So again, that's going to seal up real nice. Your felting here along the top side of your door for your glass on your door. Very nice condition too. The felting in there is real nice. As far as the door panels go, you have the painted uppers and lowers on the door with the upholstered center section here on your door panel. Now the interior is a little bit older on this car. The door panels, they're in good shape, but they are starting to show just a little bit of wear, particularly just on the armrest itself. But that's where, again, you're going to get that wear and tear. The seats are actually in pretty good condition. There's no rips or tears or cracks. Very comfortable seats. You've got front seat belts. Now this is that fawn colored interior. Again, it's an interior color that we don't get a whole lot of, so that kind of makes it a little unique here, being that it's in this car with the bright orange paint on the outside. Again, seat belts on the back too as well. The carpet's in really good shape. Like I said, we'll go more in depth with that as we get to the inside. Closes up real nice and easy. Again, testament to how good that door fitment is on this car. As we work our way back, we can look down the side of the car, very straight the whole way down the side. You don't see any waviness whatsoever. You've got the chrome gas cap here. You've got the Nova Chevy 2 emblems up here on the quarter panel. And then again, you don't see any of those wheellet moldings. But again, back here, there's 15-inch BG rod wheels, the old school wheels with the gunmetal centers there. And then these are the Mickey Thompson ET Street SS tires. And these are 235/60 R15s. So again, very sticky tire. It's going to give you a lot of traction on the roads out there. So if you want to, lay down some power, they're going to give you the grip to do that when you're out on the street. All right, now that we're around the back end of our 65 Chevy 2 Nova here, we can take a look at, all the same things we always do here. as far as panel fitment of the trunk lid back here, some of the trim work, and then the chrome here as well. So again, trunk lid, you can see, come over here on the closer side for you. As far as the gaps here, very uniform side to side. I mean, they're dead on side to side. And the elevations are very good too on the car. Again, there's adjustability left in this too, with rubber bump stops and the latch and so forth back here too. But again, fitment is really good on this car. Now you see most of the trim work here around the trunk and around where your taillight assemblies would be has been all painted same color as the car. You do still retain the bright trim work around the taillight lenses here, your backup light lenses, and of course the trim work that goes the whole way across the back end of the trunk lid here. Now the trim work here, this stuff here is probably original to the car, and you can see it's showing a little bit of age here too. But again, it's polished up very nice. So again, to retain that same piece throughout the car's life, again, a testament to how well the car was taken care of. You do have the Chevrolet up here across the top of that trim, the Chevrolet insignia down here. Again, your lens covers on your parking lights, your backup lights on both sides here are in excellent shape. There's no cracks, no chips in any of those. The back bumper, again, probably original to the vehicle. It's older chrome, but again, it's polished up real nice. There's no pitting to speak of whatsoever on it. It's just, you see, some real faint, little tiny like polish scratches in it. But that's all. Again, the chrome is real nice condition. So let's go ahead and open up the trunk. You can see trunk lock works in it there, pops. The spring to hold the trunk, it's intact and doing its job. You see it's got that same bright orange paint underneath here. And again, it's been finished off just like the exterior of the car. The trunk in this thing is in immaculate condition. Painted up just the gray and white spatter paint there. It's got the trunk mat right in the center. The trunk floor itself the whole way through, all one piece, no patching whatsoever in here. You've got a bumper jack back there where it should be stored. Your trunk seal itself the whole way around. This looks to be brand new, as a matter of fact. So that should seal up just fine for you. Again, these are the floor mats that were in the car. We always elect to take them out of the car just so you can see the condition of the carpeting. But again, they are here, so if you ever want to put them back in the car, you've got them there to do so. So we'll go ahead and close the trunk lid up now. Again, root close is super easy. All right, now on the passenger side, just going to work our way up. Everything's going to be the same as what it was on the other side. So again, we're just going to point out those things real quickly for you. The Nova Chevy 2 emblem back here on the quarter panel. The whole side of the car, again, if I look down the side of it, it's super straight the whole way down. No waves whatsoever the whole way down the side of the car. As we come up here a little further, again, you notice no bright wheel lip moldings. They took those off, left them off, and just went with the color of the car. So again, real nice, smooth, look to the car. As far as all your trim work, your bright work here around the rear glass, the front glass, that's all in excellent shape, polished up nice. No dents or dings in it whatsoever. Very straight. Even your bright drip rail moldings, same thing with those. And then of course the moldings along the top side of the where your quarter window is and the door, those are polished up real nice and straight. No dents or dings in any of that. Again, those Mickey Thompson ET Street SS tires, 235/60 R15s. Those are in good condition. The BG old school gunmetal wheels back here, 15-inch wheels, the whole way around the car. Those are like new on this car, and again, a nice little touch to help set off this bright orange also in the car. As we get to our door again, as we always do, check our gaps the whole way down on the back side of the door. And then once again, up here on the front side, very uniform and very nice tight gaps. So again, the door fitment is good on this side. If we open this side up just like we do the others, we got the bump stops both on the top and on the bottom. Weather stripping looks to be fairly new. Again, no rips, tears, or chunks out of it. Again, it should seal up just fine from the elements. You got that painted top portion of the door panel and bottom portion. Again, kind of like a gold or light brown color. And then the fawn colored interior in it is a nice little touch. Again, an unusual color for some of these cars. But again, just kind of sets it apart from some of our other cars there. So let's close that up. Again, closes up nice and easy, nice and tight as you can see there. Again, trim work around those wing windows. There's no pitting whatsoever in any of it. The trim around the windshield, same thing. No pitting, very straight, polished up, no dents, no dings whatsoever. Glass the whole way around this car is in excellent shape too. I haven't seen any cracks or chips whatsoever in any of it, so that's in good shape. Again, back up to the front fender, that's nice and straight. Again, those 15-inch BG wheels, 185/65 R15 tires on the front, and as I mentioned before, those tires up front are brand new, so all the tread life left on those tires. All right, now we've made it the whole way around our car. We're here at the front end of our 65 Chevy Nova 2, or Chevy 2 Nova. And again, the hood, all steel hood. It's just your stock flat hood. And you can see, if you look up the edge of the hood here, you can see how nice the gaps are from front to back. Again, no variation there whatsoever. Same thing over here on the passenger side. Very uniform with the gaps, very tight gaps the whole way around. As far as bright work goes on the front end of this car, everything looks to be really nice on the front end here. You've got, first of all, the bright trim work here down the center of the hood. That's in good condition. You've got the Chevrolet name right here on top. And then, of course, your bright trim work along the leading edge of the hood here. That's in excellent shape. As a matter of fact, that may be new or fairly new on this car. You've got the bezels here for your headlights. Those look to be in real good condition too, nice and straight on both sides. Of course, the grille work itself, all intact, very good condition on that as well. It's got the Chevy emblem right there in the center. And then the front bumper on this, the chrome's really nice on it. Very polished up to a nice shine there. So yeah, the whole front end of this car is really nice. We're going to go ahead and open this hood up now. Talk a little bit about this motor here, as much as what I can anyways. First and foremost, the underside of the hood, that's going to be painted up just like the exterior of the car. The nice bright shiny orange paint underneath. Of course, we've got the black hood hinges there. Everything done up like a gloss black underneath here. So again, as soon as you open up the hood, it pops just because of the shine that you have underneath here. Now this is a small block Chevy motor. It's a 355, so it is a bit of a stroker motor here, and it's a very stout motor. You'll hear this in the video. It sounds like it's really got, you know, some horsepower there. Again, for a small block Chevy, it's good, cheap, affordable horsepower too. So as far as components on this motor, we've got an aluminum ball milled air cleaner here. We've got underneath that a Holley dual feed carburetor. Now that one does not have electric choke, but again, as long as you give it some time to warm up, if it's on a colder morning, then you'll have no problem whatsoever. We do have a set of polished, fabricated aluminum valve covers on this motor. So again, that's a nice little flair for the motor. It's got breathers on both valve covers. You do have the chrome alternator here as well. Got aluminum pulleys, a polished aluminum water pump down there as well. Aluminum radiator too. Now this helps a lot with the cooling. The aluminum is just a lot more efficient than what your standard style radiator would be. It's got a nice 6-blade flex fan in here as well. On top of that, all your heater lines are run. Now it does have a bit of an upgraded ignition system in it. An MSD distributor, the MSD 6AL ignition box back there as well. An aluminum YM-Team-G intake. So again, this motor's built to run, and it does do that very well. Power brake car, as we said before, it's power front disc brakes. rear drum brakes, but it was manual steering there, so you don't have the power steering reservoir in here. Now they do have a remote mount aluminum radiator overflow tank mounted back here. So again, that's going to help as far as like any additional antifreeze. If it builds pressure and it's a little too full, it'll go ahead and just purge itself right over to here. So again, all of that stuff is all good condition underneath here. The shiny stuff's nice and shiny. Like I said, that gloss black under the hood here really pops when you open that up. And as I said before too, motor's got lots of power for a little small block Chevy. You'll hear that in the video as we get to it. So we're all done under the hood. We're going to go inside, check out the interior real quick, and then we'll go ahead and get this thing running for you. That way you get to hear what I was just talking about. All right, here we are now in the comfort of our 65 Chevy 2 Nova here. So we'll go through the interior here with you and show you exactly what it is that we see here. Again, starting over at the door that we have open over there. Again, it's just a little bit of an older interior in it, that's all. It's got the fawn color interior, so again, you got your painted upper and lower on the door with your upholstered panel, down the center. Again, the main part that's showing the age would be the armrest over there. Now, on this side here, not so much. Again, you're going to have your driver in the car most of the time, and they're going to have the arm rested up on there. So that's why you see a little more wear and tear on that side. Other than that, though, not too bad there as far as the interior goes. It's that fawn color, and it carries that throughout the whole inside of the car. You've got kind of like a dark brown padded dash pad cover up here. And again, that's in excellent shape. There's no cracks or tears in that whatsoever. Again, all good and solid up here. The brown dash here, again, the paint on that is really nice. You've got your stock gauge cluster up here, factory gauge cluster, and in that cluster you do have the factory 120 mile an hour speedo. You have the factory fuel gauge, which contains your generator, your temperature, and your oil lights. So again, that's factory stuff. Now, in combination with that, they did go ahead down here and add in a 3-gauge cluster from Auto Gauge with the oil pressure gauge, the voltmeter, and the water temperature gauge. So again, the factory gauge just had the warning lights in it. They wanted to be able to monitor that a little bit better, so they went ahead and put actual gauges in here for that. So nice little touch there. Again, they're nice gauges. Factory AM radio here, and then we have the factory heater controls up here as well. Nice rosewood steering wheel though, and that feels real good, looks real good too. So again, that's a nice addition to the car. The seats, front buckets, now the upholstery on those are in excellent shape on both sides. There's no cracks or tears in those. Again, real nice stuff here. The carpeting even, you don't see any tears or any rips in any of the carpeting. It looks to be real nice. It's not even faded. So again, it follows with the colors of the car. Even the headliner here, that fawn colored headliner, and it's tied up real nice and tight. All the bows in place like they should be. No rips or tears on that headliner either. So again, it's up there real nice for this car. The back seat, the upholstery looks real good too on that. And we have front seat belts as well as rear seat belts too. The only other thing that's in this car to really mention, they do have this Hurst Pro Stick shifter in here. Again, it's a Power Glide, but it's a built Power Glide automatic transmission. They went ahead and installed this Pro Stick shifter. Shifter works great. Other than that, that's pretty much it on the inside of our car here. The very last thing we'll do is fire this up for you. Until then, though, you can contact us by way of email or by phone if you have any questions about this car or any other car that we have on our website. You can also find us online at www.hanksters.com. So go ahead and check us out, and drop us a line and ask us anything you want to about this car or any other car we have.